Well, ladies and gentlemen, this is it. You've been waiting with bated breath, and now the time has finally come. Is Code Lyoko the best show in the world? Well, yes. Is season 1 the best season of that show? Surprisingly, not. Now, before you turn this video off, understand, this is some tough love incoming. Prepare yourself as a Lyoko fan gives his honest to God review of the first season of Code Lyoko. When it comes down to it, Season 1 can often be one of three things. It can be a great introductory season. It can be a horrible example of how you start a series and absolutely kill it. Or it can be a meh. Where does Code Lyoko fit in? Well, I'd go with the first option, not the other two. But surprisingly, it also fits in the yeah category too because, well, it's surprisingly average. Um, how many episodes are worth watching on my scale? Well, 19 of them are. Of the 26 episodes, 19 are either brilliantly written or done, or add essential parts to the plot. The 7 that remain are rather forgettable, and you might as well skip them. And yes, there is a list, and I will get to it. Overall, the season does a great job at introducing every character, giving each one of the Lyoko 5, for those who don't know, Jeremy, Auric, Odd, Yumi, Aelita, character building and character development as well as personality. Even sub-characters like Elizabeth Delmas, aka Sissy, bitch, is developed well, and even side characters like Millie Solareff and others are developed rather deeply. They become sub-characters you honestly begin to care about, which is very rare in a show these days. But mind you, this season is not perfect. In fact, it is because of the lack of a proper pilot. That's right, this series starts off with an episode 2, not an episode 1, that throws this whole thing off track. Without the proper pilot in proper place, you often feel going into Teddy Godzilla confused, driven not by much. But thankfully, due to the internet, you can now watch the pilot in its proper placing. That's what I would suggest to do first. It most certainly helps. But taking the season as is, as it was delivered, this is a giant no-no. You must have a pilot to begin, and this pretty much drags it down a few grades and pretty much keeps this season from being perfection. The CGI isn't perfect either. It's full of glitches, it's not bright enough, and and there are some graphical slowdowns. Characters that run don't look like they're running, and some of the lip sync is off. But you ignore that because the dialogue is so brilliantly written with slight, a slight bit of pop culture wit and finesse, like references to Terminator and Alien in the episodes End of Take and the Robots, as well as out of nowhere Bruce Willis and Sly Stallone references. Obviously, when they wrote the dialogue for American audiences, they understood that we love us some celebrities, and especially some action stars at that. There's even a King Kong reference you can spot it in there somewhere. But graphically, the CGI is above reproach, much better than most shows that preceded it, like The Real Adventures of Johnny Quest, Reboot, and even Starship Troopers' little series Roughnecks. There's a lot of room to grow, and you can obviously see it. Musically, well, there's only about 3 tracks of no music, and the overuse of the theme song for most of the heroic scenes in season 1 can be mind numbing. And anybody who's played the season 4 video game Quest for Infinity knows how the overuse of the theme song makes you want to slam your head into a wall. But I digress. The budget was far less than what it was in the later seasons, and this cannot be taken away from it. The season does end on a rather brilliant and rather well-written cliffhanger that, quite frankly, even to this point, still makes me irk, hate, and despise Xanavirus with every fiber of my being. Sure, the Xanavirus doesn't look so tough coming out of season 1, but its played evolution of the Xanavirus without explanation Nation is another brilliant move. It makes the villain look simple, yet foreshadows complexities that will lead the series to a more positive direction. However, Santa may not be for everyone, seeing that most of the things that he does is possessing inanimate objects, which doesn't seem that evil to begin with. Plus, let me just say this on a personal note, Jeremy Belclaw, worst character ever. Period. Worse than Jar Jar Binks from Star Wars. Worse than any other self-righteous pussy the likes of which John Laurinaitis and Michael Cole would probably have had a sex threesome with some random chick, and then Jeremy would pop up as the collective result. There are episodes in season 1 that show that Jeremy is an absolutely useless and unimportant character to the main fold. Hopefully, in Code Lyoko Evolution, they kill this bastard. For his rampant complaining, uselessness, and downright, man, you took a whole season to figure this out sort of thing, and believe me, you'll know what I'm talking about when you see it. Plus, the lack of proper title bumpers can can be a throwback, but remember, this is a season 1, folks, not an itinerary of absolute greatness. Plus, let's be honest, the season's template is well executed. What I mean by a template is a show's basic direction and a basic goal. It sets it very easily in episode 2, but it's even better executed in the proper pilot, but it does a great, great job at setting it up for the rest of the season, and of course the execution with Code Earth and False Start is superbly done. Code Lyoko's best strength is its writing, and once again and again, good writing shows, even early. What's this season's grade? After giving it much thought and much relying, I have to give it a 7 because it's not exactly perfect. The CGI isn't quite there yet, and because of the massive amount of throwaway episodes in which I will leave a list of those throwaway episodes in the video, you'll see why this season isn't exactly perfect. Yes, Frontier, Ghost Channel, and Routine, the 3 most talked about episodes socially, are still great episodes and hold up even to this day. Season 1 is a good example of how you start a series by telling everyone basic rules to watch the show by, having great character development, and a great lead-in to season 2. So with that said, now that season 1's out of the way, the question now begins, is season 2 better? Well, I'll tease you a bit. In the words of Daniel Bryant, yes, 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 by far. Remember, folks, you can see Code Lyoko in its entirety if you have Netflix streaming service. Leave comments, watch the episodes for yourself, or give me some of the series throwaway episodes from season 1 that you think brought it down, or give me a response with your own proper review. Until season 2's review, folks, live well by the code.